All right, just trying to record this video. So everyone, whatever you can recollect, you have to participate. People who are already on break mode, please, break's not started yet. It will start immediately once we finish this revision. Yes. Guys, set off and carry forward of losses in the exam. Let's do a revision. 5-7 minutes. Let's spend on this. How will you identify this? They will not tell you set off the losses. They will only tell you find out gross total income, and maybe they'll tell you identify the losses that are to be carried forward. So you know it's a part of this chapter. Once you identify it, guys, you will always draw a diagram for which you get no marks, but that has to be in a supplement. Don't put it on the back of your page because, guys, you will have to turn your pages. It will be quite difficult. So take a supplement, raise your hand, get a supplement. Let people stare at you, no problem, guys. Yes, take a supplement, keep it on the side, solve the entire diagram there, and then copy it in the table. Guys, set off and carry forward of loss is similar to a blood bank because every time you have loss is equal to blood requirement. Guys, when you have blood requirement, who's the first person you approach? After the family gives you blood, if still required, then you go to outside. And guys, technically, of course, third step will be going outside only, but you will come back to the family because these are three steps in the chapter called set off. Here also, guys, there can be losses. How many heads of income are there, guys? Five. The first one, will salary ever have a loss? No. So it will never go to its family. The next one is, guys, you can have set off, losses from SOP, you can losses from LOP. And can you set off within the family? Yes. Next one is, if you remember PGBP, guys, there are three different kinds of businesses. First is normal business, which we don't call it normal in the exam, we'll call it non-speculative business. One is speculative business. Basically, when you buy and sell anything intraday without taking delivery, guys, it's speculative. And one is called specified. Remember, guys, specified business, you should remember that list. Super fast bike can cover three hospitals, three workshops, three institutions. Guys, in the exam, if they write derivatives, that's not speculative. Derivatives are normal. In this case, can you set off the losses? Yes. If it's normal business, 1 lakh, can you set it off on the others? Yes. Guys, don't focus on the profit, focus on the loss. But what if there is a loss here of 1 lakh, guys, or a loss here of 1 lakh? Then the moment there is loss, it becomes what kind of blood group? Unique blood. Unique basically means that even if there are profits here, I cannot set it off because it is a unique blood group. Guys, this unique is different, this unique is different. Both are different unique blood groups. Basically, they cannot be set off within the same family. Next one, capital gain. Guys, there can be two kinds of losses here, short term capital loss and long term capital loss. If there is short term capital loss of 1 lakh, you can set it off within the family, no problem. But if it's long term capital loss of 1 lakh, then even if there is gain within the family, can you set it off? No. Same reason, it also has what kind of blood group, guys? And the last one is IFOS. Guys, in IFOS, typical incomes are dividend income, interest income, and if you get income. So generally, you don't have losses here except when you own and maintain race horses, which we call as OM horses. Guys, remember when you bet on a horse, it's casual income. But when you own and maintain horses, it's a business, but it'll always be taxed on which head, guys? Can this have a loss? Yes. But guys, we cannot set off against the others because again, this has what kind of blood group? While we discuss that, remember casual income, no one can touch because if you get lucky, government also wants to get lucky on the same amount. Also, guys, any casual income, will it be taxed? Yes. But if you lose any money in card games, gambling, then guys, who is next to you? No one. Emptiness. The government doesn't participate. That loss cannot be set off. This is your step number one. Once you finish step number one, you go to your family. If step number one is enough, great. If not enough, will you step outside? Yes, everyone can step outside. Here is step number two. Everyone, how many heads of income? Five. First one. In salaries, will you ever want to knock on others' doors? Why? Because salary will never lead to a loss. House property. Like after setting off within the family, if you still have loss, can you go outside? It is a very friendly head, but it is shy. Basically, it can knock on any door, guys. Literally any door. Salary also, PGPP also, speculative business also, specific anyone. You can go to any head except up to how much, guys? 2 lakh. 2 lakh is not per head; it is aggregate. So in 1 year, if I take 1 lakh from here, then I can only take 1 lakh from the others. Remember, guys, casual income can anyone touch? No. Next, PGBP. In PGBP, quickly, guys, what are the three businesses? Normal business, speculative business, and specific. Guys, are these unique? Only when they have a loss. Guys, so if they are so unique, if they can't go within the family, they can't even go outside. So unique blood basically means don't even think about outside. But normal business, can they go outside? It is semi-friendly. What is it, guys? Semi-friendly basically means it can go to any head except, guys, salaries. It does not go to the logic is not important. Just know that it is not going to salaries. Can it go to house property, capital gain, IFOS, except casual income? It can go to anyone except salaries. Next, guys, which is the next head of income? Guys, every building has one neighbor who is a snob family who has a lot of attitude. They don't talk, and capital gain is that neighbor. Guys, it is non-friendly. So there is short-term capital loss. There is long-term. This one is anyways unique. So anyways, it will not go out. But this one, guys, if it has a loss, can it go out? No, because non-friendly. So it will not go out. It will only play within the same family. And last one is which one, guys? In IFOS, guys, the only loss was OM horses, and that too it is unique. Unique means so unique it can't go within the family. Can it go out? No. Yes, people who are on a break, guys, please come back to class there and participate. Otherwise, you'll find yourself on the first benches there in the yellow t-shirt and people behind. Yes, the entire group there. All right. So next one, guys, step one done, step two done. Now, which is the next step, guys? Step number three. Guys, if you can't eat the cake today, can you put it in the fridge? And can you consume it later on? Then that is called carry forward and set off, which you do in the next years. This is step number three. How many heads of income, guys, again? First one. Will it ever be carried forward? No. House property. Can it be carried forward? For how many years, guys? And a very important thing, guys, whenever you carry forward anything, you'll put a stamp, which is called what stamp? Quarantine stamp means this loss. Can it go next year? Yes. Next to next year? Yes. But anytime it goes, it can only play within the same family. That means house property technically is friendly. It can go to any head. But if it's carried forward, it will remain within house property only. As PGBP, can it be carried forward? Yes. Again, for how many years? But if it's speculative, because speculative has an angle of gambling, and if it's specified, it is indefinitely because the government really likes that. Next one is which one, guys? Is capital gain again for how many years? And here in IFOS, only head of income, only losses, OM losses, which again has a sense of betting, so it can also be carried forward only for 4 years. Guys, this was a chapter, some additional points. First, guys, do you know what is a quarantine stamp? You will put a quarantine stamp whenever you see something brought forward or carried forward, it will have a quarantine stamp. You don't have to use this word in the exam, but you know what a quarantine stamp is. Second, guys, what if a business is discontinued? Then can you carry it forward? Yes. And in the subsequent years, if you start another business, because guys, the moment you carry it forward, it has to be in which head? PGBP. So if you start a new business within 8 years, can you set off the loss? Yes. Third, guys, if you remember loss from gambling, etc., can I minus it? No, that has to be ignored. Fourth, any exempt activity, guys. Guys, exempt activity, example, agriculture. If income is there, what do you do? Ignore. If a loss is there, what do you do? Ignore. Common things are agriculture, very common thing, and it will be there in your paper also, guys. Share of profit from a partnership firm. Ignore. Share of loss from a partnership firm. Also ignore. Guys, there is a guy called UAD. What is UAD? That depreciation which you cannot minus this year, can you carry it forward? Yes, but the government is so happy because you bought a lot of assets, and hence they say I'm giving you two superpowers. One, no quarantine stamp. That means you can carry it forward and you can set it off against any head except, why not salaries? Because this comes from the room of PGBP. And guys, another superpower, it can be carried forward. And guys, remember, whatever treatment you are giving to UAD, the same treatment you will give it to scientific research expenditure, and the same treatment to, so even they both get the same superpowers. Next, guys, when you are hungry and you open the fridge, guys, are there many items? But you will eat the one which expires first. Same way as an order of set off. First, current year expense. If that is done, example 100, and your total is 250, can I minus 100? Yes. After that, any brought forward business loss, because it has an expiry of how many years generally? 8 years. So if that is the next one, let's say that is 300. Out of that, how much can I take, guys? 150. And what about the balance? You carry it forward. And the last which you will minus if you have any profits is UAD or SRE or FE. Yes. And seventh, any other point? Yes. Guys, you can carry forward your losses. Government gives you opportunity, but only if you file your return of income within due date. Guys, which is our friend in due date? John. July, October, and November. If you file your return on time, the government has no problem. But the year you file it late, can you set off? Yes. Can you carry forward previous year's losses? Yes. But that year's loss, no carry forward except HD. Loss from house property and unabsorbed depreciation that can be carried forward. Whenever you want to revise, especially one day before the exam, watch this video. Do as many sums as possible, guys. And this is the star easy chapter which will take you from a 37 to a 43, from a 47 to a 53, and from a 57 to a 63. Yes, very important chapter. Do this really well. Watch this video again and again whenever you want to revise. Break time now, guys. Half an hour. All right. Guys, here we go. We are doing a really, really nice revision on a chapter which is short in your exam. Which is the chapter, guys? Can you predict and can you leak the paper? Deductions under chapter 6A. Guys, this is one which you, me, all of us know it will be there in the exam. So let's do it really well. Guys, is this connected to any of the heads of income? No, this is beyond the heads of income. This is things like life insurance, medical insurance, etc. So how much deduction can I take? First, you find out your GTI. From your GTI, guys, if your GTI is 10 lakh rupees, you have to minus CC income. Which income? What is CC income? Any capital gain or any casual income. Which capital gain? The one which is at 20, 15, 10. You minus that because that the government doesn't want you to deduct anything. And the balance example 8 lakh is available for deduction. And this is under section called 80A. Yes. Let's go to the next one. We'll immediately go to 80C. As 80C, people dread a lot because the shortcut is contribute. You're contributing to a lot of things. This is only applicable to individuals and because it helps the economy, it's applicable to both. What are you contributing towards? Girls, live, now, needs, five, ultra, super, ultra, senior, assets. This one, PF. Next, shares and a house with National Housing Bank loan and Indian education. People who are writing whatever they're doing on the screen only now, with me revise. Guys, when you're contributing to Sukanya Samriddhi, when you're contributing to life for self, spouse, and children, but up to certain limits. Even life insurance paid abroad, will you get deduction? Life is important everywhere. Which bonds? NABARD bonds and with certificates, NSE certificate. 5-year FD in bank, post offices, and cooperative banks. ULIP. Next, senior citizen saving and annuity. Annuity basically means remember that HDFC Life had? Yes. You contribute to which kind of PF? SPF, RPF, PPF, not URPF. This is not important. Some locked in mutual funds and shares and debentures. Principal repayment of house, but the house should be ready and it should be from approved source. Even stamp duty and registration and bonds of which national housing. And for your children, up to how many children? Two children, Indian education. Like this is 80C. Next 80CCC. Oh, by the way, this you can donate for self spouse children. Even PF you can do for self spouse children. Not parents, nothing. The family is small. CCC, LIC. Next is 80 CCD1, where you're contributing to National Pension Scheme, but there's a limit of 10% of salary or 20% of GTI, internal limit. Overall, this has an external limit of under a section called 80 CCE. Good job. 80 CCD2 and Agnivir in the amendment video. Next, 80D. Again applies to whom? Let's see the first one, medical insurance premium. There are two categories, self, spouse, and children, and the other categories up to how much? Up to how much? If anyone is a senior citizen and resident, 50. Can we pay for medical expense? Someone asked a question today, yes, but only if the parent is senior citizen and does not have any medical insurance. Central government health scheme applies here. And besides that, guys, you also have a coupon of medical health checkup which can be paid in cash. And this is within. So first check the internal coupon, then check the external limit. And if you pay for multiple years, then you will divide by plus 1. Next, guys, 80E education. Now, guys, in 80E education, all right, sorry, my bad. 80DD, disabled and dependent. If any of your family members, now who's in your family? Brothers, siblings, brothers and sisters. If they are disabled and dependent, how much? And if they are severely disabled, what if severely disabled, guys? 80% or more. And here it is only applicable to whom, guys? Resident. Next, 80DDB, double dangerous. Either you or your family members, now also includes brother, are not well specified disease, then you will get a deduction of amount spent of 40,000. First, you compare whichever is lower. And if you get any deduction, you minus it after that medical insurance, employer, etc. Another person who's ill, not you, is senior citizen and resident, then one. Again, applies only to next guys. E series. E series is all about I. It is only available to individuals, only for interest, only when paid makes it expensive. ATE. Education loan. You get interest. Yours family is again very small, like a diamond. Sell, spouse, children. For how many years, guys? And the loan should always be from which source? Your education can be Indian, foreign, anything is okay. 80 easy EMI again. Guys, do you get interest deduction here? This is in addition to house property. There you get separate, here you get separate, but not the same interest, the excess interest. Up to how many lakhs? The house should be up to, it should be a first bought between 19 to 22. Next, guys, 80 EEB, very important. Elect. Even if it's for personal use, you'll get interest deduction of 1.5 lakh. But this one, guys, it's only between 19 and 23. That is E series, now G series. 80G, donation. Are you donating money? Oh, by the way, this applies to both because its interest helps the economy. This is 80G donation. When you donate, there are four categories, guys. First, 100%, then, and then 50. So these last two guys have a 10% of ATI. What is ATI? ATI is basically take your GTI. It's a cousin. So take your GTI and you minus all deduction except the one you're calculating. Then 10%. Who will use it first? See. Then first you compare whichever is lower and then you do the 100% and whatever is left. Remember K, Kai, siblings, yes. And here the four categories you know. By heart the three categories, the first one you'll automatically know. Use the quick book or your notes for the shortcut. 80GG. Some people get the lucky guys. If you don't get HRA exemption and you rent a house, will you get deduction? A, B, C, whichever is low. This is 5,000 per month. Rent paid minus 10% of ATI or 25% of ATI. What is ATI? Same GTI. Available GTI minus all deduction. Guys, remember if you or your spouse or minor child or HUF has house in the same city, you won't get this deduction. 80 GGA. Give around. If your PGVP room is not open, then you'll get scientific research expenditures here. Please cash only up to 2,000. 80 GGB and give chota. These are which donations? Political, no cash allowed. Yes. Next 80 JJ job and on the additional employees that you added in a year, guys. Besides salary, you get how much percent extra? But there are some conditions. The salary should not be paid in. The salary should be up to. You should contribute to their. That means shouldn't be casual employees. And guys, they should be employed for 240 or 150 days for laugh industry, leather, apparel, footwear, manufacturing. Guys, you should be audited in this case, and this is allowed only for how many years? Three consecutive. Every year, check for additional employees. Only then you will get the deduction. Additional means if I have 100, if I add 10, is it additional? What if I minus 12? No, then overall is 98, so there is no additional employee. Next, J, then 80 QQB. What are you writing? Quality books. First stop, you will take your royalty income and you will minus the expense. Second stop, deduction. In that step number one, you will take your royalty, but maximum 15. If it's lump sum, then you will not take this 15%. Step number two, whatever is received in India, whatever is received abroad but within India within how many months, whichever is lower goes in step number three, and you will minus the expense, and that is a deduction you will get, but maximum 3 lakhs. Remember, this is only for individuals and only who are resident. 80 RRB. This is also same. And only thing here 15% does not apply. This is other than book royalty. Next 80 TTA. Guys, if you are someone who is below 60 years old or if you're an HUF, then on your saving, only on your savings account, you will get deduction of how much? 10,000 annually. This is helpful and hence it is both. And if you are 80 TTP, that means 60 years or more, then any interest you'll get maximum 50,000 deduction. So check the age and see the deduction. Next, guys, 80U if you yourself are disabled. Remember, guys, to get your deduction, you need to file your ROI by John for three deductions: join, return, Q. Am I forgetting anything? Why did this happen so fast? Good job, guys. The same thing. We're starting off the session with the recording, which you will watch later whenever you want to revise this huge elephant chapter called TDS, TCS, and advanced tax. It is huge. To revise, it's going to take some time, but it'll be really productive later on. What I do the revision from is a book called the Quick Book, and here is the Quick Book. You've seen it before, and I'm just going to show you to you right now once again. This is the Quick Book. This is for your exam, and in that, this is the chapter. This one is on TDS, TCS, and advanced tax. Uh, should you use the quick book? You don't need to because you have handwritten notes. But if you want to, the better part about the quick book is that every time there is some discussion and there is an ICI illustration or an ICI question, it is mentioned here like this. So when you finish a particular thing, let's say you finish this part, you will see a question here. So if you want to do that kind of recap or revision, you could use the quick book. It is there in that same drive link, and even if it gets updated, it will be the same drive link that gets updated at. All right, with all your participation, we will be recording this revision lecture on a very nice but very big but very important chapter called TDS, TCS, Advanced Tax. Let's start. In TDS chapter, guys, who's always in the middle? Excellent. And this payer, guys, whenever he's paying some income to the person, we'll call him recipient. The government doesn't like that they have to wait for the tax, and hence they tell the payer to deduct TDS and they pay the government. And this is called what, guys? TDS. Let's get out some common points. While paying the TDS, you need to give the PAN number, not yours, but the recipient's PAN number, so that he can take credit. If you don't give the PAN number, the TDS rate increases to 20%. Generally, in some cases, we've seen it increase to 5, and in some cases, even to MMR. Next, guys, you have to pay this money by the 7th of the next month. For the month of March, you can pay by 30th April. And also, we've seen that payment or credit, this has to be whichever is earlier. What this means is whenever this payer pays or whenever he credits in the books of account, whichever is earlier. So this is what the common points are. We'll not be repeating the common points here, guys. Your tax, you have to either pay through TDS or TCS or advance tax. Example, guys, some places like you go to a restaurant here, you'll have to buy a coupon, pay, and then get your coffee. But at some places you can order and then they get you the bill. So same way, there are different ways of paying taxes. We are looking right now at TDS. We'll do it in the same manner it's appearing on the screen so that you get a different flavor. Guys, 192 is what? TDS on salary. Remember, slaves is a shortcut. And your TDS, they've not prescribed any rate. It is on what rate, guys? Your master will become your CA. He'll ask your income, he'll ask your losses, he'll ask your deductions. And whatever the number is, he'll divide by which month, guys? 12. And he'll deduct every month, he will deduct TDS. If you don't give your PAN number here, it is surprisingly very high. What is the rate? MMR, and this is TDS on payment basis. Next, guys, is 192A, Aram. Employees want to do Aram, so what do? The PF they withdraw. After 5 years, we have no problem. But if you withdraw within 5 years, then there is tax and hence there is TDS at what rate, guys? 10%. But there are two exceptions. Within 5 years, if you have UID, what is UID? Unemployment, illness, and disability, or guys, you are withdrawing up to 50,000 aggregate, then they will not deduct any TDS. Here also, what is it, guys? MMR. Section 193. If you buy bonds, securities, government securities, debentures, gold bonds, what do you get? Interest. Is there a common income? Yes, so TDS is a very common rate of what rate, guys? If the amount is more than 5,000. Remember, guys, LIC and GIC are big guys in India. No TDS for them. Also, in case of government securities, only the face value or nominal value is more than 10,000. Good recollection. Moving ahead. 194A, which is India's best bank, Allahabad Bank. No, Axis Bank. All right, same thing. Shortcut. So 194A, they said interest other than securities, any other interest if they're paying, again common income. So TDS is at what rate? If the amount is more than 5. But banks, this is not 5,000. Banks for y'all, it's 4,000 or 5,000, not per branch, per bank. Also, here there are some people other than bank who pay interest, like your friends can pay you interest, a company can pay you interest. So, some exceptions. When you pay, when 140 crore Indians pay interest to banks, service fee, we don't deduct any TDS. Next, guys, if your friend pays, small individual, small individual, no TDS. Guys, partnership firm paying to resident partners, no TDS. And motor accident claim tribunal paying up to how much? 50,000, no TDS. So 194B. Guys, are you going to do betting in life? I hope not. But if you do, and if you get lucky, then on casual income, they say TDS at what rate? 30% only if the amount is more than. Here, guys, there is no pen, nothing, because 20, they're anyways deducting at 30%. 194BB. Bigger betting. If you like horses and you bet on them and you win, again, same thing like 194B. 194BA, this is betting app. Do you remember? Of course, here the shortcut is different, but it's a betting app. And this case also it is 30%. But wait. It's on the net winnings. What is the net winnings? Whatever you put 10,000 minus whatever is your winning 1 lakh. So what is the net amount on that 30%? Whenever you withdraw or by 31st March of the year. What is 194C? You're paying to a contractor. It could be anyone. It could be a contractor, decorator, GTA, ad maker, anyone you're paying a contractor. You need to deduct TDS at the rate of 2%. You don't want to block too much money. Another contractor is individual HUF. 1%. Remember, guys, small personal limit. It does not apply to small. So on your wedding day to the caterer when you pay no TDS. It does not apply to personal purposes. Sorry, this is personal. Small individual, small HUF. And limit of how much, guys? If your payment is 28, no problem. 32, problem. If your payment aggregate is 99, no problem. 101, yes. So there are two Kabaddi lines. Anything you cross, there will be TDS. Anything else, yes. Again, no PAN. All these are common points. Yes, 10 GTA, 10 PAN. If you're paying to a GTA, no TDS up to 10 goods carriages. But he has to provide you PAN. Exam question. He didn't provide PAN. So what rate? 20%. Excellent. What is 194D? Guys, very similar to 194H, very similar to 194G. All these are commission. General commission, insurance commission, lottery commission. In all these commission, if the amount is more than 15,000 TDS at the rate of, is it common, guys? Same Xerox copy. Only thing 194H does not apply to small individual, small agent. Remember those three students who had come and bought a house and paid a broker? They will not be subject to any TDS here. 194DA. Thankfully, you bought a life insurance. If you are no more, no tax. If premiums are low, no tax. But if the premiums are high, taxable. How do you know it's high premium? You know the limit, guys, 10, 20, 15, etc. Now, when it's high premium, step one, the amount should be more than. Step two, you have to find out the net amount, whatever you got minus whatever premiums you paid. And on the balance, you have to deduct TDS at the rate of 5%. Excellent, guys. Your 194 EE, extremely exhaustive. National Savings Survey. Common, hence TDS is a very common rate of what percent? If the amount is more than 2000, fine. Lower amount because people invest lower amount. 194G, we've done this. 194H, we've done this. Guys, initially you never buy. Initially you always. So whenever you're paying rent, which is more than 2 lakh 40,000 per annum, but not per, it is per person, not per category. TDS at what rate, guys? 10%. If it's plant and machinery, then 2%. Also, this does not apply to small individual, small HUFs. Next, did you like the property? Do you want to purchase it? So if you purchase immovable property, there is TDS at a very small rate of what? Why 1% properties are so expensive? Because the government only wants to know who that guy is. Here, guys, the property should be worth more than 50 lakh, either sale consideration or stamp duty. What if both are more than 50 lakh? Then whichever is higher. Guys, this is 194I. It does not apply to RAL because RAL there is no tax. And it does not apply to compulsory acquisition because we have a different section there. 194 IB. Are you a small individual? Are you a small HUF? Who are these guys? Every individual, every HUF is small. Unless they give you BGMP income more than how many crore? 1 crore or professional income more than 50 lakh last year. If you're small, you should pay a small payment. Why are you paying rent of more than how much? 50,000 per month. RTP question 32,000. No, it should be more than how much? In that case, TDS will apply at the rate of 5%. But don't worry, you don't have to monthly recharge. You can do a yearly recharge. And in that yearly recharge, whenever the month year ends or whenever you vacate, you need to deduct TDS. But exam question, what is the TDS for that 20%? Then, guys, your rent is lower than the TDS. So up to the rent amount. Do you remember that, guys? Yes, excellent. 194J. Are you going to become a jealous professional? Yes. 194J means professional fees. And in that case, TDS is at what rate, guys? 10%. But CMT, call center, movie royalty, and technical fees, TDS rate is only 2%. Small personal limit. Small individual, you are not here. Personal purpose, you are not here. Limit of how much, guys? Only 30,000, but the limit does not apply to thrice that has been asked before in the exam. Next, guys, 194K. Which mutual fund is India's best? When you get income from mutual fund, very common. What is it? 10%. If the amount is more than 194 LH, legally acquired. Is the government acquiring it? If the amount is more than TDS is what rate? Exam question amount was 2 lakh 20. 194M. Are you a small individual? Small HUF. Just can't help. Here the shortcut is different. If you're a small person, make small payments. If you're going to make more than 50 lakhs in an annum to one person, either a professional or contractor or broker, then we'll have to deduct TDS at what rate? 5%. 194N. Guys, who doesn't like notes? So if you withdraw too many, the government will tell banks to deduct TDS at what rate? Only if the amount is more than the first time we are seeing excess. But guys, if you take a special bag, no TDS. A government, banks, and white label ATM. Remember, guys, there's a punishment. If you've not filed a return for how many 3 years, then guys, 2% more than 20 lakh and 5% more than 1 crore. Excellent. 194. Everyone now wants to sell goods online. If you're going to sell on Zomato, Swiggy, Uber, Ola, Myntra, Amazon, wherever you're going to sell, when they pay you, they will deduct TDS at what rate, guys? 1%. Guys, this is very important to note. Only individuals and HUFs, guys. Very, very poor housewives, very poor auto riders, etc. Up to how much? 5 lakh in the whole year, there will be no TDS in that case. Here it is a special case if you don't give PAN. Excellent, guys. 194. Dividend. If you get dividend, very common. TDS at what rate? If the dividend is more than exam question cash dividend. No limit. Excellent. Fully. Section 194P. How old are you guys? 75 years and more. And if you're that old and you get two income, pension and interest in the same bank, then the bank will become your CA. They will find out tax at what rate, guys, and they will deduct at that rate. After that, you don't have to file your return of income. 194R. What do you like scrolling? Reels. Guys, if you get any benefits or gifts in relation to business and profession, now the government has said there'll be TDS at what rate? If the amount is more than small individual, small HUF, you are saved from this. Section 194Q quantity. There is a pair in the middle who's big. How big? Last year turnover more than 10 crore and he's purchasing more than how many lakhs, guys? 50 lakhs. Then he'll have to deduct TDS at the rate of 0.1% only on the excess above 50 lakhs. Second time excess. So, guys, it has quantity. You also have to be big. The purchase also has to be big. The purchase has to be from India. Payment of credit, whichever is earlier. Next. All these are exam questions from TDS. Next, guys, no tax when you are in the middle and government both sides. Will there be any? No. In case there is GST, will there be any TDS? No. TDS, can you take gross amount or net amount? Always gross. And can you take credit? Yes. If you don't pay by the 7th of the next month, interest is at what rate? 1%. If you deduct but you don't pay, 1.5%. Next, all this is okay, guys. Here, TCS. Guys, TCS, who is always in the middle? Seller. And whenever he is selling some products, he will collect TCS and pay to the government. And some things which we will get out. First, PAN. So that the person can get. If no PAN, here it becomes. What is 25? Twice the rate or 5%, whichever is higher. It is received or debit, whichever is, and you have to pay by the 7. If you don't pay, 1. If you collect and you don't pay. And is it on every goods? No. Only on sale of, sale of mineral, sale of alcohol, not on retail level. Scrap only when generated in business. Minerals, which one? LIC. Lignite, I know coal, but for manufacturing, then don't block the money. Car only at what level? Retail. Two licenses, 2.5 timber, and 5 BDs. Only on these at these rates will there be TCS. Good job, guys. Your TCS, let's talk about some specific cases. 194 1F, fancy car. Guys, fancy car means more than how many lakhs? It can be bike, anything, guys, fancy more than 10 lakhs. It is RR. RR means only at retail level, only when you receive the money. 2061H. This is the cousin of 194Q. Here, who's in the middle? And the seller is big, guys, more than how many crores? And if he's selling more than how many lakhs? 50. Same rate, same everything, but this is only on received basis. And if a buyer and seller both are big, then 194Q. How do you know this? Payment of credit, whichever is. And what if the 194O also? 194, only one section will apply 194O because the rate there is, here it is 0.1%. Next, 2061G. Global. Guys, here you are going global either for travel or education and medical or education on loan or for LRS scheme of RBI. In this case, the limit is always 7 lakh. Only the limit is not there for travel. The rate is always 5%. Only for education loan, it is 0.5. And now the 5% has changed to 20% for LRS and travel, not for education and medical. Yes, we missed some TDS section. One was 194S. Remember speculation? Where you buy a cryptocurrency, in that case virtual digital asset, not on buying but on selling. The person more than 50,000, the person will deduct TDS at what rate, guys? 1%. Guys, next is advanced tax. In advanced tax, guys, your tax liability after TDS TCS is 5,000. Will the government wait? Yes. If it's 15,000, will the government wait? No. Only if the tax liability is more than 10,000, the government says, listen, we'll want advance tax. Okay. In 5, 6, how many installments? 4. Just send demanded money. Or jaldi say de do money. June, September, December, March. How much percent? 15, 45, 75, 100. Guys, while you pay this, remember there are 4 income which you can't predict. A, B, C, D. First, asset sale, like share sale. Second, business which is new. Third, casual income. You never when you get lucky, and the dividend. This will be included only when they are earned, dividend only when it's received. Next, guys, for people who are 60 years or more and no advance tax, unless they are doing PGBP. And presumptive tax, people will only pay the last installment, that is of March. Are we okay with this, guys? This is called advance tax. But, guys, what if you don't pay your installments on time? Guys, remember the relay race. Who runs first? 234C. Who runs later? And who runs last, guys? 234A. In 234C, guys, this is the installment checking. They will check how many times? Every time your installment is short, interest of what percent? Into how many months? 3, 3, 3, but last one because he will stop running in the previous year. Remember, guys, if you don't pay money to the money lender, will he continue charge interest? The section changes 234B till you file your return in. What if I file it in May? Then April, May. What if I file it in July? Then April, May, June, July. So it will be John, same rate. What rate, guys? And if you still don't file your return, who runs? Same rate, 1% till you pay. So Vijay Malia's which horse is running? 234A is still running till he pays. Good. This is all there is. TDS, TCS, advanced tax. It took us about 15 minutes to revise the chapter, which will be very, very technically not a chapter. Guys, rates of tax are spread out across the CA inter portion, but we've made it into a separate chapter and hence we are revising it separately. This is called rates of tax. Exam reference. In the exam, will we have to calculate rates of tax for every sum? No. If they say calculate total income, you stop there. If they say calculate house property, you stop there. Yes. Can we stop there? Yes. And if they say calculate tax liability, then we reach this place where we calculate the tax. Everyone, is the tax the same for every person? No. We are talking about individuals and everyone will participate. This is the old system of tax which is still prevalent. Guys, what is the basic exemption limit? 2.5 lakh where the rate is 0. So 2.5 to 5 lakh, 5 to 10 lakh, 20%, and more than 10 lakh, it is what? This is basic tax. For someone who is below how many years, guys? 60. The day you touch 60 years or more, guys, then it becomes, as the only change, yes. And the day you touch 80 years or more, guys, then it is what? This is the basic. But for non-residents, irrespective of age, guys, age doesn't matter. It'll be 2.5 lakh. Basically, non-resident is the same as this, irrespective of age. When you watch this video, you will help. It'll help you revise. And this is the basic tax. Besides basic tax, you also have something called. But in basic tax, there is a rebate which we have to discuss. Rebate is under section. It is only for people who earn up to 5 lakh and the maximum rebate is 12,000. Remember, guys, non-residents don't get any rebate because we don't like them and hence they don't get any rebate. All right. Next is surcharge. Guys, surcharge is a rich person's problem. So if you earn more than, or more than, or more than, or more than, then there is surcharge of. All right. Guys, we've been calculating surcharge today in some of the sums. Surcharge is on the basic tax, not on the income. And then everyone's good friend, guys, HEC, it always remains the same, consistent 4%. This is for individuals. Guys, this same thing applies to the second person also, which is called HABA. What is HABA? HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. These also have the same slab rates, same surcharge, same everything, but no rebate. Why no rebate, guys? Because they don't vote and no higher bell. The only bell they have is 2,50,000. Are we okay with this, I guess? Now the third one, partnership firm. I'm not discussing because it's not important. Fourth one, companies also I'm not discussing in this video because they're not important. Go to your handwritten notes, have a look at it. It's all flat, flat, flat rates. I'm telling you the rate which will come in the exam is individual. And as a CA in the student, the faster you realize what is there in your exam, the better your exams will be. Yes. Now, guys, when we move from here, we move ahead to the next concept. I'm just discussing additional concept, maximum marginal rate. They will never ask you to calculate it, but it is 30% plus 4%, which works out to be 42.7%. This is only used in case of slaves punishment. Next, guys, marginal relief. Guys, sometimes because of surcharge, if my income is 50 lakh 40,000, will there be surcharge? I want more participation. And because of surcharge, my extra income, which is 40,000, is less than my extra tax, which is example 65,000. So I will get a marginal relief of how much? So remember, for marginal relief, you will always compare with the last surcharge. Yes. If it's too much, watch a sum on this. It's never come in the exam before. I don't think it has a high probability of coming in the exam because too many mathematical calculation. But marginal relief is only because of what, guys? Surcharge. All right. Guys, there is a scheme of partial integration. Guys, we call it a scam. This scam happens only when two conditions are fulfilled. Your agriculture income should be more than, and your taxable income should be more than your basic exemption limit. Also, guys, this only applies to those people who have well. Guys, who have well, individuals have well, and Haba have well. Now, how do we solve this scope of partial integration? Step one, Shaw. Do you remember Shaw? You take all the income and calculate the tax. Step two, you take agriculture income and exempt income, and whatever taxes you minus, and whatever is the balance, that is what you need to pay. This is called scheme of partial integration. In the exam, pro tip, only when you have agriculture income will you calculate this. Not important. What is the next one? 115 JC. What is the full form? Short. 15 just cry. This is only when you have three deductions. SAD. Guys, what will you start with? Total income. Whatever the total income is, you will add SAD. Please tell me the full form. NAA and deduction under JRQ. You will add those, and when you add specified business, you will minus which, guys? Depreciation. And this is how you will get your ATI. On ATI, this one says we'll tax plus surcharge plus S, and if this is more, you have to pay this more. But isn't this unfair? Yes, it is. But you'll get what, guys? Credit. This is called 115 GC. And the superstar, the really, really big superstar of your paper is going to be 115 BAC. If you don't know this well, might as well, guys, fill the form for the next attempt. Yes, still you know this well. Yes, 115 BAC. Full form? Better available choice. Let's discuss the pros first of this. First, is it still a choice? By the way, it is now called the default option. What is it called? So in the exam, they say calculate tax as per default provision. Then which one? Can you switch? Yes, between this and the next one. Every year you can switch except the year you have. Alright, third, please tell me the new slabs. Guys, there will be friends who will tell you these are not the slabs. There are friends who will tell you 2.5 lakh because, guys, slabs have changed for your year. You are the first year exam which are giving the new slabs. Even in 115 BC, the slabs were different. Yes, remember, I'm telling you this on the 25th of November, that on the 7th of May, 8th May, whenever your exam, this is going to be there in your exam. These slabs. What percent? Remember which is missing? 25. Excellent. And guys, some more things which are good. 115 JC. Will you knock here? So will you cry here, guys? No. You will cry in the old ones. Yes. And the fifth one, the rebate has increased to how many lakhs, guys? More on this in the amendment lecture. All right. Now the cons, very, very important, guys. First con, the bell is only. Oh, I had a bell of 5 lakh. I was 82 years old. No, only everyone gets. And now everyone tell me which deductions have been removed. First, IFOs, no change. Capital gain, then PGBP, additional scientist specified awesome provide. Additional depreciation, no. Specified business, scientific research, which one? Outside and awesome area, gone. Next, house property. Guys, house property, SOP interest is gone, and now house property is what head? Non-fed. Salaries all gone except blind can still do tours. What is S for? Blind conveyance daily and tour and travel allowance. You'll get still get exemption. Next, clubbing. Like, what was the only advantage of a minor child? 1500. That was gone now. Next, set off and carry forward. If you don't get chicken in your house, can you put in the fridge? No. Same way, if a deduction is not allowed, it cannot be set off, it cannot be carried forward. Next, deductions. All gone. Saddest moment, guys. All gone except Jan. We made a new shortcut here. JJAA, Agniveer, and NPS. These three are done. Agniveer and NPS. Wait for the amendment lecture. All right. Not Jan, guys. Jan. It's a friend of John. Yes. All right. So this is 115 BSc. In the exam, how will you do 115 BSc? First, regular. Then you will take total income and you will add back all the reductions. The person who's scrolling on the phone also, guys, your paper also will have Jan and John and all these things. So I hope you're paying attention. Watch this video whenever you want to revise rates of tax. This is it. Yes. Perfect. Now, TDS sums, you will practice a little bit. This today's one self-study question you will do. I'm not sure which particular 2 dates that I'm coming on, but there will be 2 particular days that I'm coming in. Yes. Unnecessary telegram chatter on when is the date you will be announced. You'll be announced much in advance, at least 15 or 2 weeks in advance, you'll know, so that you can prepare for your test. Remember, guys, December end, 2 subjects should be wrapped up. Yes. DT, I'm bringing to an end here so that we can start again after those for those 2 days. Yes. Any questions? I've already given a WhatsApp number to all of you all. If you all have any doubts, you can raise a WhatsApp question or a voice note there and it will be addressed. See you guys soon. Thank you so much. 1 page or 2 pages. Yes. Let's begin. Guys, which is the first chapter that we have started? Guys, the first chapter was which one? Introduction. In that case, there was no section there. So I'm just putting a dash. What is the second chapter that we are starting? Income from house property. Let's discuss and do a section wise revision. Everyone, last bench is also that guy there who is looking at some other sections. Yes, please participate here. Yes. All right. Guys, the first thing is computation. There are 5 cases: LOP, SOP, DLOP. All of that, guys, is section 23. This tells you how to compute. So this is computation. Next, guys, there were 2 deductions. One is 24A and one is 24B. This is deduction. All right. Next, guys, was 25A, A for arrears. So if you remember, this is the main one. And at what age will you get married, guys? 26, because that was, remember, co-ownership. Yes. These were main sections of house property. And in the exam, if a house property sum comes, you can be rest assured this is one of the sections you'll be quoting. So this chapter done, house property done. Let's look at the next chapter. Guys, open your books. Tell me which is the next chapter that we had done. Agriculture income. In agriculture income, guys, the only section was section 10.1, which was agriculture income is exempt. But we had 4 rules, if you remember. Rule 8 was for tea. Rule 7B was for Rule 7A was for rubber, and Rule 7 was just like that. These are all composite incomes, if you remember. And please remember them because they are very frequently asked in the exam. That is the next one. And in that, we also had exempt income. I'll tell you the main exempt income. If your HUF has already paid tax, you don't have to pay. This is what HUF income. If your partnership firm has already paid the tax, you don't have to pay. This is partnership firm. Next, 10.4.2. Any NR having which account, guys? NRE account will not have to pay tax again. Next, I'll tell you the important ones, guys. Sukanya, Samriddhi, all that is not important. Yes. 10.15. Post office saving account, guys. Are we aware of that? Yes. The others are not important. I'll tell you the most important ones. 10.32. Yes. How can we forget him, guys? Or her minor child. And then everything else, yes. 10AA What is that, guys? Awesome area. Guys, this is video and this page is for those people who find it difficult to remember sections. So this will help you remember the sections from an exam perspective. Yes. Which is the fourth chapter after this, guys? Check. Residential sales. Guys, one was scope of income and residential status. This is the chapter. Let's first do scope of income, guys. There's a section called section 5, which talks about what income? Scope. For a non-resident deer, for a RNOR deer plus 1. Next, guys, is section 6. Do you remember this? Yes, basic condition 1, 2, which is section 6, 1. This is residential status of whose, guys? That's it. That's all you need to remember. Then there was section 9. I remember deemed income. This one section came in this exam for almost about 10 marks. Yes, deemed income. All right. Which is the next chapter after that? IFOS. All right. Guys, IFOS had three parts. The first one, 56 to 10. What was this, guys? Gifts or benefits. Do you remember IB? It's been a long time, but I think you remember, guys. 222, if you remember, deemed income. A for asset, B for bonds, closure, decrease, and E was loan. What is this, guys? Deemed income. Yeah, we can't discuss everything, but I'm just going overall. Yes. And otherwise, guys, yeah, deemed dividend. Perfect. This was IFOS, which is the next chapter, PGBP. Guys, in PGBP, the important sections, I'll tell you which ones. Incomes will be section 28. These are all the incomes under PGBP. Expenses, only the important one, section 30 to 1 is depreciation. Section 30 to 2 is unabsorbed depreciation. Additional depreciation also is there, but that's not important anymore. And no. Section 35 is scientific research expenditure. Section 35 AD is which business, guys? Specified business, you are special. Besides that, 44 AD, 44 ADA, and 44 AE. This is which tax? Presumptive tax. Next chapter. After PGBP, IFOS was clubbing of income. Yes. I'm just going in the same order as we had gone. Clubbing of income. Guys, if you transfer to your spouse or a son's wife, 64-1. This is for whom? Spouse or son's wife. Remember one spouse, yes. 64-2 each year. And 64-1A was minor child. Before this disappears. The best revision will happen when we reach deductions and TDS, guys. This is 7. We'll add the small sections here only, guys, which is the 8th one, which is the next chapter, set off and carry forward. In set off and carry forward, there's only two sections. Section 70 was family and section 71 was outside. These were only two sections. All right, check, guys, which is the next? Capital gains. Guys, capital gains, what was the shortcut? ATPSC. In fact, if you don't remember too many sections also, I'm good, guys. This is the main shortcut. Then, guys, there was section 54. House for house. 54B. Parent. 54F. Family assets. 54D. Demand. And 54EC. Easy capital gain. Guys, these were all exemption. And guys, if you want to remember, guys, you could remember this one. Section 112 is when it's taxed at 20%. 112A and 111A, this is at 10%, this is at 15%. Guys, these are special rates, if you remember. Yes. 112A 15 and this is 10%. All right. That was capital gain. No, section 112 is 20, 112A is 15 and 111A is 10. One. This is 12%. 111A is, yes, this is 15 and 112A is 10%. All right, no problem, guys. As long as you remember 20, 15, 10, guys, people who think that this is what they will do and this is what they will go in the exam for, you will be confused because section doesn't matter. The concept matters. As long as you know the short term capital gain is what? 15. Yes, all right. And next one is what? Salaries. In salaries, mainly the section is for standard deduction. Yes, standard deduction is section 16(1)(a). All right. After that, guys, comes the main chapter for deductions under chapter 6(a). All right. Every section is important here, so you will participate and you will tell me the first one that we had studied. Okay, let's take it from the first only. 80C. Shortcut is what, guys? Yes. A student asked a very good question. Then when you make a FD, 5-year FD, and when you earn interest, guys, are they the same? No. When you make the FD, you get deduction under which section? 80C because you're contributing. And when you earn interest, you get TTB. Remember TTB? Yes. All right. 80CCC. Care. Who cares for you guys? 80CCD1. NPS. And all three of them, guys, have 80CCE. How much, guys? All right. And there was 180 CCD, one extra benefit of how much, guys? 50,000 in NPS. Good. Guys, I'm going to continue at different parts here. So 80D, this is medical insurance premium. 80DD, disabled and dependent, standard deduction. 80DDB, double dangerous bimari. So this is bimari. All right. Next, I will continue here only. 80E, this is education. Next is 80EEA. This is house property loan. But again, guys, only on interest. This is only interest. 80EEB. This is for EV. And all these guys have a shortcut of 5. All right. Next, guys, after E, let's go and write 80G. G is for what, guys? Donation. 80GG. Ghar. Yes. 80GGA. This is scientific research, etc. 80GGB and GGC, political parties donation. All right. Next, 80JJAA. This is for jobs. 80QQB. This is royalty on what, guys? Books. 80RRB. Again, this is royalty. Only thing is, how many books do you read, guys? 50. That's the beauty of shortcuts. You remember it well. 80TTA. This is a very hidden adjustment. Yes, this is 80 TTB. Again, this is interest, and 80U is disabled, self disability. All right. These are the sections. Anything that we are missing out on? All right. That Agniveer, etc. Whenever we do the amendments, we'll put it there. Next chapter is which one, guys? TDS, TCS, and advanced tax. Yes. All right. Let's start with TDS first. Yes. In the same pattern that we learned, 194B casual income. 194BB. This is horses. 194O is online, that is e-commerce operator. 194N, that is cash withdrawal. Yes. Then 194DA, this is amount from life insurance. Next, guys, 194I, when you pay rent. 194IA, when you purchase Property, guys. What are you purchasing? Property. 194 LA, this is compulsory package. 194 C, contractors. 194 J, professional fee, jealous professional. Yes. Now, even if they are not jealous, guys, we are in our mind jealous professional always. 194 M, misuse. Yes. Just can't help. 194 IB, immovable property, which is big. Then, guys, 192 salary, slaves. 192A, PF withdrawal. Then some common ones, guys. 193 interest, but on what, guys? 194A other interest, guys. This is other interest. 194 very common, as you saw, dividend. 194K mutual fund. 194 EE NPS, National Saving Certificates. 194 P, yes, we forgot those three. 194 H, D, and G. This is all commission. 194 BA, betting app. This is online gaming, guys. Online gaming. 194 S, this is crypto. 194 Q, quantity. This is on purchase and sale. What happened? 194 R, real, that is gifts, guys. This is gifts from business and profession. All right. Good, guys. Really, this is too much, but you've done this too much. So I'm very happy. Then TCS 206C. This is the main one. 1F is for fancy car. 1H is for high value. 1G, which is going to be in your exam, guys, for sure, is global. Guys, these are all TCS. Advanced tax sections are not important. This is all TCS. This is for car. This is for sale of goods. And this is for Forex. This is for what, guys? Forex. All right. What happens is these are common things that students ask the last few weeks of the exam. They say, sir, can't remember any section. So with you, when you do this, even if you try and do one chapter a day when you revise, it'll get stronger. And these are the important sections. Even if you've not written important sections, these are the